Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome to the Rosemount State of the City event for 2021. Please keep eating and enjoying the fine breakfast as we open up the program this morning. My name is Mark Loftus. I am serving as interim president of the Dakota County Regional Chamber of Commerce. Normally, at this point of the program, the moderator says, "It's great to see you here today," but let me say, it's really great to see you here today. In person, functioning safely, it's tremendous. Saturday night, my wife and I went out for dinner, and we went to a restaurant that we thought, well, let's just walk in. It was a full parking lot, needed a reservation, we had to sit outside. It was quite remarkable, but I think that's the kind of signs we need that we are reaching milestones and that we're about to be having a much better summer than we had last year. You know, we've all had our experiences with COVID and dealing with the pandemic, both personal tragedies and business problems and community issues and challenges throughout that. But now we need to continue supporting our local businesses, moving forward, helping them grow, helping them succeed. So that's our number one priority as a chamber. And I should say, as we move forward, you should look for more in-person events that the Chamber will conduct. We had our annual Women's Forum on April 9th this past month, the first large event we had, but we have more things coming up. The July 12th will be our annual Golf Classic, which is at Dakota Country Club, which is, as most of you know, is one of the nicer places to play golf in the Twin Cities. So we encourage you to participate in that, to be a sponsor. We have other events where they have opportunities to be a sponsor as well. So Laura Roll, are you in the back? Laura's back there. She's our events and membership coordinator. So see her if you'd like to be a participant in that one of those events. In January, the Chamber had its annual meeting. It was a virtual meeting. And the theme of the topic of that event was transforming our communities for success. So today you'll be able to hear about how the city of Rosemount is transforming itself for success now and into the future. I know we have several public officials here with us today, and I won't introduce them. I'll leave that to Mayor Drosty to do that. But on behalf of the Chamber, I want to say thank you to all the public officials who are working on our behalf. We know how challenging it is, how complex the issues are, the difficult challenges that we all face, and you're working for us, so we really appreciate that. The Chamber, the Dakota County Regional Chamber, is a dynamic collection of businesses and individuals who are working steadfastly to improve economic opportunity and business opportunity for our members. We serve multiple cities and townships throughout Dakota County, including Rosemount. We work with the business community on advocating for public policy, providing networking and professional development opportunities, and also encouraging economic development. I want to acknowledge our sponsor for today, which is SKB Environmental. We thank them for their support. My friend Don Chapdelaine over here, long time with SKB, and Ryan O'Gara. We appreciate your support to the Chamber, but also long-term support for this community and for other parts of Dakota County. I also want to thank you. I should mention that Ryan O'Gara is also a board member of the Dakota County Chamber, and has been for a long time, and we just got him back, so that's good. But also, we have other board members here today. John Altoff is here, Amanda Doerr with Charter Communications over here, Carol Osnes with Rosemount Eye Clinic, and Jeff Ellis with the Ellis Law Firm. I saw Jeff over here. You know, I serve on a couple of other organizations, and I have to say this is a tremendous board, good colleagues, professionally run our organization with great board members like that. So I'm glad to be part of that. You know, as a chamber, we also enjoy relationships with our cities, with the business community, but I also want to mention the school district, 196. Recently, at our Women's Forum, we awarded scholarships to 3 students from District 196 who received scholarships for their further education. And those three young women were Ankitha Kumar, Hannah Larson, and Mandy Moran. So is somebody from 196 here today? I thought I saw. Congratulations. So I'll put a plug in for the charitable foundation of the Chamber too. Those scholarships were provided by our foundation, and those funds came from past events that we'd had, whether you have a raffle or a wine pull or silent auctions. Those kinds of things all yield support for our foundation. So please think about that when you attend those events that we have. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce Mayor Bill Drosty. William H. Drosty was elected in 2002 to his first term as mayor of Rosemount. Prior to his election, he served on the Rosemount Planning Commission from 1995 to 2001. His service to the community includes, besides being mayor, includes current positions as a member of the Family Housing Board, the Metro Cities Board of Directors, the Minnesota Statewide Emergency Communications Board, the Regional Council of Mayors, and he's an alternate member of the Minnesota Valley Transit Authority. And he serves on the National League of Cities Transportation Infrastructure and Services Committee. How do you do all that work, Bill? How do you do? Mayor Drosty holds a Master of Science degree in Telecommunications from St. Mary's University in Upper Iowa, from Masters of Science in Telecom from St. Mary's in Minneapolis, and a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Management from Upper Iowa University in Des Moines. As most of you know, he's employed as a realtor with Keller Williams Preferred Realty, and prior to that, he worked for 28 years as an operations manager and market analyst for Quest Communications, which is certainly a name out of the past, isn't it? And Bill has lived in Rosemount since 1989, so please join me in welcoming Mayor Bill Drosty.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. And good morning and welcome, everyone. I'm Bill Drosty, and I want to thank you for being here, whether you're in person or those online virtually. I'd like to introduce my peers on the Rosemount City Council. Councilmember Jeff Weissensel, if all of you would just stand up. Councilmember Heidi Fresky, Councilmember Tammy Block, and Councilmember Paul Essler. Thank you. This is a wonderful team of public officials that work respectfully and responsibly for the citizens of Rosemount, and I'm proud to be part of the team. I'd like to also acknowledge our Dakota County commissioners. Some of the people may be online. Commissioner Joe Atkins and Commissioner Mary Heyman Rowland. Thank you for what you do for our community. We have Representative John Hewitt, State Representative. Thank you for being here. And I'd also like to acknowledge Senator Greg Clausen, who could be online. It's hard to tell when the legislature's in session. And also our U.S. Representative Angie Craig. I appreciate all the work that all of our representatives do for us. Also our Superintendent of Schools, Mary Krieger, and our board member, Jackie Magnuson. Thank you for being here. I want to say to all the elected officials, thank you for your service and what you do for our city and our community. Again, thank you to SKB Environmental for their sponsorship. They're the ones that provided the food for us today, so thanks, Don. And the food was provided by Las Tortillas. So Ryan McGinnigal is in the back, but I want to say thank you, Ryan, local restaurant in our community. Thank you to the Cable Commission for handling this video production and streaming the event online. They continue to innovate in what is now a somewhat new normal. And thank you to our Dakota County Chamber of Commerce for hosting this event. You continue to create events that address the reality that we're living in. Now, I know it's not necessary to say 2020 was the most unusual year in the world as we dealt with the effects of COVID-19 and widespread civil unrest. But I do want to acknowledge the people who dealt with major losses. Everything from not experiencing a graduation, a wedding of their dreams, to job losses, business closures, missing friends and families, long-term illnesses, and especially those who lost a loved one to the pandemic. To say it has been challenging is an understatement. Last March, when Governor Walz closed schools, public buildings, and businesses, no one had an idea what the future would hold. But despite the incredible challenges, our community displayed an immense amount of resilience, creativity, and strength. Working together, we were able to emerge with stronger partnerships, new initiatives, and continued growth in Rosemount. We saw people make sacrifices for the good of the community by practicing social distancing, wearing masks, and now getting vaccinated against COVID. We saw businesses quickly pivot to new sales models, offering delivery, pickup, online services, and figuring out all of the PPE rules and changes that kept coming at them. Our city staff was remarkably quick to pivot to a new work model, something that city government isn't often known for. Not only did they adjust to working from home and changes in service models, but also they tried a number of new initiatives to serve our community. We saw so much generosity and goodwill. From the food drives to help keep our community shelf stocked, to the heartwarming commitment Ryan and Jen McGinnigal at Las Tortillas, who to date have served over 8,000 free lunches to Rosemount school children who otherwise would have gone without. And to Ryan, I can't say enough on what they did for our community. The Rosemount Resource Center saw continued demand from job losses and child care constraints. We saw our residents get out and adapt to trying new things. Our parks and trails have never been so busy. We tried a virtual Night to Unite, virtual shopping, ordering food to go, ordering activity boxes from our Parks and Rec when normal activities were put on hold. I look at these efforts and I want to commend all of you and our staff. It wasn't an easy task, but it was done well together. Other big projects moved forward despite the challenges of the pandemic. We saw our strongest year of growth in a decade, the beginning of construction of the new Morrison apartment complex. We opened the Rosemount Skate Park, celebrated the opening of new businesses in our community, and saw incredible participation in the 2020 census and the 2020 election. And I'm pleased to report that the state of the city is strong. I just have heard many of you observe the pandemic help bring into focus what is truly important here in Rosemount. This focus helped the City Council and staff as we work to create our strategic plan for the future. We were able to reaffirm our focus areas and make plans on how to incorporate what we've learned in the pandemic to ensure that we remain resilient, nimble, and open to growth. And I'll get into more depth in that in just a few minutes. Now I'm going to turn it over to our talented city staff for some of what they were able to accomplish in 2020.
2020, we overcame the challenge of COVID-19 by offering programs, adding facilities, and opening up our current facilities to the public while all following COVID-19 guidelines. And we added a skate park, which was open in August of 2020. We also added field lights to the Flint Hills Athletic Complex, and we offered a variety of special events like Arbor Day, City Cleanup Day, both in the spring and in the fall. In 2021, we have a lot of plans for, again, new park amenities, including 2 new fields at the U-Moore Ball Field Complex. We're going to be adding a new playground at the Flint Hills Sports Complex, and we have a variety of special events that we have planned for the summer, including the Leprechaun Day celebration, which will take place in July, and a food truck fest, which will take place in September. New activities that we'll be planning for this year is a variety of concerts in Central Park taking place on Saturdays, and that's in adjacent to our Thursday morning concerts for kids and families, along with our regular slate of recreational programs for children, such as day camps, Kids Corner, and programs like that, along with the Puppet Wagon. We will also be looking to add some trail improvements this summer, along with a variety of other improvements to our park system.
Hi, I'm Adam Keenberger, Director of Community Development. Although I'm new to the city of Rosemount and excited to get caught up to speed on everything, I know that there was a lot that happened in 2020. This past year focused on communication and support for our local businesses. With a robust business outreach program, the Rosemount team set out to keep everyone in the loop regarding regulations, resources, and recovery plans. The highlight of this outreach was the development of a business bulletin e-blast in the Rosemount Cares campaign, which connected businesses with the information and resources needed to forge ahead. As we highlight some of the development within the city, it's exciting to note the number of new projects that were completed or are underway. In business news, the Lorenz office building and new Biscayne Business Park building were completed, offering even more options for new additions to the community. We celebrated the grand opening of several businesses in Rosemount, including Noodles, Emerald Roots Hair Salon, Top 10 Liquors, and Hope Fieldhouse. Approval of a new microbrewery, North 20 Brewing, received unanimous support from the Rosemount City Council, and we look forward to seeing this addition in 2021. Public infrastructure plays a critical role and sets the stage for growth and development throughout the community. We saw road construction improvements on Deep Woods Court, Autumn Path, sections of 121st Street and 124th Court, Akron Avenue north to the city limits, and a complete reconstruction on Biscayne where pavement and utilities were extended south of Highway 46. We continued the goal of expanding our life cycle housing options with the opening of Wexford Place Apartments, the new Prestwick Townhomes, and breaking ground on the Morrison building. The Morrison adds 124 units of market-rate apartments and additional commercial opportunities in downtown. New housing developments, Meadow Ridge, Caramore Crossing, Dewland Heights, and Emerald Isle, have begun construction, adding additional single-family home options to our growing community. 2021 is already off to a great start with 100 new single-family homes and several new commercial prospects underway. I look forward to meeting everybody and promoting the great work that happens here in Rosemount every day. Please reach out to us for information on building permits, business development, and other resources that we can offer.
Well, I think we could all describe 2020 with their own unique set of adjectives, and perhaps some that won't make this video cut. I want to assure you that your public safety officials answered an unprecedented call to service in remarkable fashion. While the pandemic and civil unrest come to the forefront of our minds, it is important to focus on how well our community came together to support each other during these trying times. Our police and fire departments strive to constantly engage and partner with our community. And while the pandemic tried to sidetrack these efforts, we diversified the ways in which we stayed connected. We maintained several of our staple programs, such as Kicks for Kids, but we started new initiatives like the Medallion Hunt, a virtual Night to Unite, Pizza with the Popo, bike giveaways, and we even had the privilege of escorting Santa across town while collecting donations for 360's communities. Furthermore, your police and fire first responders joined forces with community groups to help host a trick-or-treat drive-thru at Hosanna, an ice cream giveaway with Lighthouse Church, and who knows how many birthday parades for children across town. In terms of staffing and operations, we handled roughly 17,000 calls for service and welcomed 7 new firefighters and 2 new police officers to our teams. Our police department kicked off a new coordinated community response program to help stabilize individuals experiencing crisis. Specifically, for 20 hours a week, a licensed professional clinical counselor from Dakota County is now on site to help respond alongside police officers, evaluate follow-up plans, encourage mental health awareness, and educate our community. The fire department took delivery of their 101-foot Rosenbauer aerial platform truck, and both police and fire prevented COVID outbreaks by sticking to high PPE standards when responding to emergency calls. Finally, both the police and fire department responded locally and across the metro to maintain public safety amidst civil unrest. While it was an incredibly strenuous time, we were able to adapt operational plans to maintain peace while still ensuring First Amendment rights. Most importantly, on behalf of all Rosemount police and firefighters, we want to thank all community members and businesses for the extraordinary support throughout 2020. All the gift cards, the food, the snacks, the gestures of kindness, they were overwhelming. We are proud to serve this community.
Hi, I'm Logan Martin, City Administrator for the City of Rosemount. And as we all know, 2020 was a historically challenging year. But as you can see through this video, your city staff banded together to push us through it all. Much of our year was focused on COVID response and reaction and learning more about how to quickly react to a global pandemic. We shifted to a work-from-home model in a very short order, but we stayed focused on keeping our level of service the same by providing digital permit applications, drop-off boxes for permits and bills, innovative rec activities, and of course we kept going with all the public safety and public utilities that you've come to expect. Supporting our businesses and residents throughout COVID was also a major focus, as evidenced by the aforementioned Rosemount Cares program and the efforts we did supporting the community spirit to get through this together by leaning on each other in these challenging times. The city received $1.8 million in federal COVID relief funds, which we quickly put into action. We spent $250,000 on facility upgrades, safety equipment, and teleworking needs such as tablets and Wi-Fi boosters. We spent about $400,000 in grants to local businesses to keep them afloat during these shutdowns and challenging times. The city gave over $100,000 in grants to our local clinic and 360 communities to support them in their important roles in pandemic responses. And the remainder of our funds were used to support public safety salaries that were affected by COVID. The annual budget process is always a major task for each year, and the City Council and staff crafted the 2020 budget with a focus on fiscal conservatism, but also optimism for the future based on our growth trajectory. The operating budget increased by 2.2%, which resulted in a $33 increase on a median valued home, seeing 7% growth. Once again, in 2021, we have the third highest median valued home in the county, reflecting our strong housing stock. Also, the taxes paid by a Rosemount resident are the third lowest in the county, which keeps us competitive as we retain families and add even more families. The growth in our city has been reflected in some growth in our staff and has led to the increased need for larger facilities. Responding to the work of a recently created facilities task force, we are currently exploring the construction of a police and public works combo facility, which would allow both departments to better operate and meet our growing needs for years to come. You've likely seen some new faces around City Hall too, as our staff has changed a bit recently due to some retirements. We're very excited to have Adam Keenberger, our new Community Development Director, on our team. The skill set, energy, and experience that he brings is second to none, and we're very pleased to have him. Jeff May, our Finance Director of almost 36 years, is retiring at the end of May, and we are currently searching for his replacement. Jeff leaves the city with a AA+ bond rating, which is the second highest rating that a city can achieve, and he has placed us on solid financial footing for years to come. We greatly appreciate Jeff's service and wish him well in the future. The City Council has placed some lofty goals in front of us as a staff, and we are focused on creating a high-performing organization that allows us to meet those expectations. This means an increased focus on recruiting top talent and retaining them once they get here by providing competitive wages and benefits, training opportunities, and chances to grow their skills with projects and experience. I am extremely proud to lead this dedicated team of public servants on a daily basis. Rosemount residents and business owners should rest easy knowing they have a dedicated team of public servants with top-notch skills wearing that Rosemount shamrock on a daily basis. We're not too sad that 2020 is in the rearview mirror, but we are hopeful and excited about 2021 as we push forward together for our bright and exciting future.
Thank you, Logan and staff. I'm incredibly thankful for the talented staff that we have. Logan and his team will continue to grow as Rosemount grows, and it's encouraging to see the amount of work and what was accomplished in 2020. Each year, your City Council meets to review the work from the previous year, reviews current strategy, and make adjustments for the future. This year, we met in January, and I'd like to share more about the vision for the next 5 years and how we will accomplish it. We continue to focus on 4 main areas: growing Rosemount, keeping our community connected and engaged, ensuring a high quality of life for our residents, and as mentioned, developing a high-performing organization so that we can continue to reach for those goals and beyond. 2020 was a strong year for growth. Permit activity soared, total building valuation broke 100 million for the first time, and we had the strongest year of residential growth in over a decade. In the development world, there has been much interest to invest in Rosemount for future growth, both commercial and industrial. With this opportunity in mind, we are taking a 3-legged stool approach for growth, focusing on high-value, high-quality neighborhoods with a wide variety of life cycle housing, supporting our business community so that residents have an opportunity to spend money and engage locally, and ensuring that Rosemount is a regional draw for business and job creation. This growth is a basis for many of our other goals. By ensuring we have diverse housing options, jobs, and the ability to get what we need locally, we are creating a community that is open and supportive of all who choose to call Rosemount home. The growth in our tax base will provide the funding to create connectivity and continue to enhance the quality of life here in Rosemount. In housing news, residents will see significant growth with new and expanded neighborhoods in Greystone, Meadow Ridge, Carramore Crossings, and Arden Place. In addition, you all know the development opportunity at Umore Park has been well known and pursued for many, many years. We're pleased with the traction on this project and hope to see an application from a local land developer within 3 months that will see construction of the first phase. This is a 435-acre piece of property in the southwest corner of Akron and County Road 42, and it will bring nearly 1,900 housing units of various types, along with commercial and service options in a prime location. This is a significant project, and once it's underway, it'll prove it was worth the wait. Through developments like this, we'll work to provide safe, connected housing and options, whether you're a renter, a new homeowner, a growing family, or someone that's looking to downsize. Keeping our community connected is also top of mind as we create these new neighborhoods. Access to parks, schools, and shopping is the key value in Rosemount, and we're working hard to ensure that we keep that hometown community feel as we grow. I've already touched on the challenges of 2020, and for the business community, some experienced a boom while many nearly saw a bust. We saw the most successful businesses respond creatively and resilient and jumped in to help where we could. Supporting local business has always been very important, but COVID emphasized the need more than ever to make that extra effort to support your local Main Street businesses. Many business models have and are changing permanently. The way you deliver services has changed. Carry-out, online shopping have become a new norm. More people are working from home, and if it wasn't already apparent, the pandemic clarified the need for connectivity. As an organization, we acknowledge these and changing models have and will continue to have an impact on our city, our business, and our residents. As the pandemic wanes and we look to the future, we will continue to explore how we can utilize technology, create access to ensure that Rosemount is the place where people want to shop, live, and do business. As long as I've been mayor, we've heard complaints about the lack of choice for internet connections in some parts of rural Rosemount. In 2020, the city partnered with Dakota County to bring broadband internet service to an area town that had previously struggled with connections. By partnering with Charter Communications, Dakota County, and leveraging some CARES dollars, we were able to invest approximately $1.5 million to place fiber and connect 370 homes that were in a more rural section of Rosemount. With online learning and remote work, the investment made even more of an impact on both students and adults this year. We are continuing to watch to pursue opportunities like this and to ensure that as we grow, our residents can access what has truly become a necessity. We want to make sure Rosemount can compete as a regional draw for business and jobs, and to do that, we must be prepared. You saw in the video some of the developments in 2020, and more exciting growth is on the way. New businesses are actively working with us to locate in the Biscayne Business Park, including a large user that will create dozens of good-paying jobs. We're also in talks with retailers and service providers interested in the Akron Avenue and Highway 42 intersection, bolstered by the housing growth in the area and the signal light that's currently under construction. This is perfect timing for this interest because the city recently completed a commercial visioning study. The study gathered input from local experts, staff, and market research to create a long-term vision of what Rosemount could become with partnerships, development, and strategic land use, and a plan to inspire investment. Rosemount continues to expand to the east, and as we build on what we currently have and create new spaces where residents can live, shop, work, and play in a connected, vibrant community. With these visuals in hand and eager support from our Council and Port Authority, our staff has the tools and the drive to sell our vision to developers and investors. In the years to come, you will see a community that is able to compete with our larger cities in Dakota County. Our next strategic focus is connecting, engaging the community. We want our residents and businesses to feel that the city government and leadership is accessible and to ensure that you're fully informed. In addition, we want you to feel connected to each other and your community via trails, transportation, and technology. Rosemount's a great community to live in. During the past year, with the lockdowns, we were relegated to walking on sidewalks and trails to help save our sanity. The kindness I saw repeatedly was smiles, goodwill gestures, positive messages in chalk and kindness rocks along the trails. It was uplifting and continues to be. I saw the joy our police and firefighters brought to children as they drove Santa through our neighborhoods last December. These types of connections are crucial to the way of life in Rosemount. Since the development of Evermore in the early 2000s, we have built our neighborhoods with these connections to trails, sidewalks, and paths. The pandemic showed why these elements are necessary for your personal health and also define us as a community, connecting people, and in many cases, we connect their pets. As we build the new neighborhoods of the future, we are working diligently to ensure that we'll be able to connect to an even larger system of trails. The Mississippi River Greenway Trail will soon connect Spring Lake Park north to St. Paul and south to Hastings. And we're laying the groundwork for the future Rosemount Greenway Trail and Vermilion Highlands Greenway so that our residents can utilize bike trails to get to multiple regional parks, such as Lebanon Hills, Whitetail Woods, Spring Lake Parks, and our local Flint Hills and Umar ballparks. We have a great partner in Dakota County, and we're eager to do our part to see these plans come to fruition. The new underpass at Akron and future connections to safely cross County Road 42 is just one piece of that groundwork that allow bike transit to become more of a reality in Rosemount. To improve our ability to engage citizens, we acknowledge that the digital age, it is important to meet people where they're at, which means we need to be in a lot of places at once. To achieve this goal, we're expanding our reach both online and in person. We have already begun to improve our social media presence, and next year, staff will be upgrading our website with improved navigation and technology. We'd like to add service options that allow you to complete more tasks day or night, regardless if City Hall is open. In addition, we have created a new technology task force. This group of tech-savvy citizens and staff are being tasked with ensuring that Rosemount's creating a 21st century of the future. They are looking for efficiencies that can be created using technologies such as things as smart water meters, charging stations for electric vehicles, enhancements to the city's digital service offerings, and even smart trash cans that will notify us when they need to be emptied. These enhancements are being explored with the goal of helping us streamline our services and saving taxpayers money, while providing a 21st century service delivery that residents expect. And as the pandemic winds down, we're looking forward to more events like this where we can connect with you directly. We recently held our first council out and about, and we hope to continue hosting meetings for you where you are at. We are thrilled to see the many of you attended our Home and Business Expo last weekend, and we're forward to looking for celebrating Leprechaun Days this summer. Finally, we will work to continue enhancing the quality of life in Rosemount. I've lived in Rosemount since 1989. I love this town. I know you do too. The benefit of our proximity offers all of the conveniences and opportunities in a metro, and yet we continue to retain that welcoming hometown feel reserved for smaller towns. We want to hang on to that feeling while bringing Rosemount to a more regional destination with welcoming gathering spaces, fun activities, and exciting events. As we watch the Morrison property go up, and you can see this continued vision of our downtown area becoming a reality, it'll be exciting when later this fall, bringing new residents, more activity, and more vitality into the heart of Rosemount. Creating destinations such as this is a key priority. Another top priority is to ensure Rosemount can support our community's needs for recreation. In addition to our wonderful parks and trails, the Rosemount Community Center and Steeple Center are highly used facilities in our active community. In 2020, we added a new skate park with professional modern design that attracts youths of all ages, and I should say some adults. I've been amazed at how busy this park remains since it opened. In the private sector, we were pleased to welcome Hope Fieldhouse and CA gear to our community, bringing excellent facilities and additional options for indoor sports and recreation. Looking ahead, we're expected to shortly announce a public-private partnership on a large indoor recreation center that will bring excitement and regional attention to our growing community. As the council, we are actively ready to make investments that will serve our community and spur additional growth in key areas. Needs change as the city develops, and we want to ensure that we can continue to provide the high quality of life that you have come to expect. To do this, we must be bold and willing to innovate. 2020 was a challenging year, but we are beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that gives me hope. Just last week, I heard the heartwarming story of a gentleman who went to pay his bill at Quick Trip and realized he had forgotten his wallet. Instead of sending him home as he requested, several strangers grouped together, covered his bill, and sent him on his way. This is who we are, and I see it every day in our neighborhoods. Together, we have weathered a storm, and we have come out stronger. More of us are getting vaccinated every day, and that gives me hope that gatherings safely again will occur. Our city staff is once again planning summer events and activities, and I'm sure you are equally excited to get out, celebrate together with music, sports, camps, festivals, and the like. Our organizations are developing as high-performing team and with new skills and new ideas. Our city has remained on track for steady growth, and we on the council have unity of our vision for Rosemount. This vision will take commitment, strategy, investment, and a strong team, and we are ready to grasp the opportunity and run with it. It's our time. It's the future of Rosemount, and the future looks bright. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor Drosty. That was both very informative and inspiring, and I'm very proud of the accomplishments and happy that you can celebrate them today. So I hope you all have a great year without the pandemic. I know we all will. Have a great summer and have a great remainder of this very nice day. Thanks for being here.